So now we heard the conversation of Radhika with Shyamala, but Gurudev describes another conversation which is very wonderful. And he gives the reference to this by describing a poem written by a Oriya poet called Balaram Kavi. I think it's Balaram. It's a very sweet description of Radhika's moods of love for Krishna. So one day Radhika is sitting with Shyamala. Shyamala is her Surhid Saki, who is friendly with her and also a Yuteshwari. So she meets with Krishna also. So Radhika begins to reveal her heart in confidence. And Radhika says that Krishna is so beautiful, so attractive. When he plays his flute, the sound of his flute enchants our hearts. When Krishna speaks his words, they're even more sweet than the sound of his flute. Like Krishna may be playing his flute and many people are hearing it. But if Krishna is speaking to you directly, how sweet is that? So Radhika says his words are so sweet. His flute playing is so sweet. His face is so beautiful. He is Vangsi Vadan. And yet, with all this beauty and all this nectar, there's a poison. There's some very dangerous poison in this. Actually, I wish I had never met this Krishna. He is so cruel. And he is so dangerous. Oh alas, my dear friend Shyamala. Krishna is like a trap. And with his beauty, he lays the trap. If you once see Krishna, Sangsara grihite jao hoy sarvanas. Bhaktivinoda Thakur sings, oh, don't go to that Keshi Ghat. Don't go to Keshi Ghat because there's one very dangerous dacoit there. And if you go there and see him, he will capture your heart and never let you go. And then, oh, your family, your friends, if you enjoy has parihas, laughing and joking with friends and family in this world, don't go to Keshi Ghat and see that Krishna. It's very dangerous. So Radhika says, Krishna's beauty is a trap. And once seeing Krishna, you get stuck in that trap, and then you see him, and then he shoots you with his arrows, like an expert hunter. So what are Krishna's arrows? His kataksha, sidelong glance. And what is the bow? His curved eyebrows. So Krishna with his eyebrows, and how does he sharpen the arrow? Gurudev says, Krishna sharpens his arrows on his kundals, his earrings. So he sharpens his sidelong glance on his earrings and practices shooting them. He's very expert, very quickly. You have to, like Aviram is doing now, but he's not so expert. It's in Madhu Mangal's party. Those arrows are not Kandarpa arrows. They are Hasya Ras arrows. So Krishna shoots his arrows. Once you are stuck in Krishna's trap, then you can't escape. Then Krishna shoots you with one volley of arrows after another. And you become completely defeated. So Radhika says, oh, I wish I'd never fallen in this trap. And once I fell in the trap, I struggled with so much effort and I escaped. Oh, Shyamala, I escaped this trap. And I was thinking, I'll never get trapped again. I'll never look at that Shyam again. Why? Because seeing his beauty, one becomes trapped. So I was very careful. In the Kunj, when Radhika gets in Man, all the hairs of the gopis are decorated completely in white flowers, so nothing black is there. Even they don't use this kajal. Nothing black can be seen in the Kunj. Radhika doesn't want to see any blackness on the manjaris or gopis. So they have to disguise their kajal, their hair, everything. Why? Because it will remind Radhika of Krishna. I tried so hard to stay out of his trap, but anyhow, again I became trapped. And again I became stuck in this cycle of getting trapped and escaping, and getting trapped and escaping. And it is so painful. What can I say? So his trap is his beauty. And once one is in the trap, then Krishna's next tactic is his love. Krishna's prem. So Krishna, Radhika says, Krishna meets with you, Shyamala. Krishna meets with Bhadra. Krishna meets with another gopi. And to each gopi he says, oh, Saki, you are my heart and soul. I only know you. I only love you. And he's poor, and Krishna is so earnest that you feel truly Krishna is only loving me. And yet afterwards, Krishna leaves and disappears, and he is with another gopi. So Radhika says, this beauty of Krishna, his love is so sweet. It's like an intoxicating nectar one cannot stop drinking. And yet it has this very virulent poison inside. And taking this poison, one's body becomes to wither. And when you take poison, your body becomes very hot, like a fever, 105, 106. You touch it, it's like you can cook a chapati on their skin. How hot. So then Gurudev tells a story that Krishna, he learned this process of love in Braj with all the gopis. Oh, I love you the most. I only love you, not only the most. I only love you. I only know you. But there's so many gopis, and he says this to them all. So learning this process, Krishna went to Mathura and Dwarka, and he thought, okay, it's worked well before, let me do it again. So he tells all the queens, oh, I love you the most. I only love you. I only know you. So one time to cause mischief, Narad Muni came. Narad Muni is the expansion of Madhumangal. So he's also very naughty and he likes to cause mischief. So Narad came from Indraloka bringing a Parijat flower. Parijat flower is only present in heaven. It's so beautiful, so fragrant, so intoxicating. Just seeing it, your mind becomes overwhelmed in the enchanting beauty of the flower. And so Narad came into the courtyard of Dwarka where Krishna was present. And he said, oh Krishna, come, come, come. You didn't invite me to your wedding. I'm your guru and yet you didn't invite me. Anyhow, I've brought you a gift. There's many pastimes like this. So he said, I brought you a gift. I brought you a Parijat flower. So you have 16,000 queens. Give it to your favorite queen who is most dear to you. So he knows, oh, Krishna is a cheater, like Radhika said. He's always saying, I love you, I love you, I only love you, I only love you, to each and every one of them. So he said, now, in front of all the queens, he said, call them all here. And they all came together in the beautiful royal assembly. And he said, now, give this Parijat flower to your favorite, dearmost queen. So Krishna was thinking, I'm trapped now. That I'm an expert hunter and I'm always trapping the devotees by my beauty. But now my devotee Narad has trapped me. Now I'm exposed. So he thought what to do. So he thought, what can I do now? In a bad situation, you have to make the best of a bad situation. So what to do? So Krishna thought, if I give it to Rukmini, she is the eldest, she is the first. Everyone knows she is like the foremost. So they will be less angry if I give it to her than if I gave it to one of them. If I gave it to one of the later queens, they'll be more angry. If I give it to Rukmini, they'll think, okay, he had to do it because she's the eldest. So Krishna thinks, but he's not so happy about it. So he gives it to Rukmini. Rukmini is somewhat, she doesn't show externally so much her emotion. She's more humble. But she's smiling. She's very happy also. And all the other queens become pale, dark-faced. And Krishna is also thinking like, I'm in trouble now, you know. So at that time, Satyabhama is dear, very dear to Krishna of the queens. She is the most like Radhika. She is Vamya Bhav, very bold, leftist mood. And Rukmini is more submissive, Dakshin Bhav. So Satyabhama immediately storms out of the palace and goes to her own room, her own palace. She takes off her ornaments, her crowns, her royal sari, everything. She's just wearing her simple like white undercloth. And she lays down in her room. And Gurudev describes, she begins to breathe very heavily like a female snake who was very angry. Thinking if Krishna comes, I'll teach him a lesson. But she's very angry then. So Krishna knows that Satyabhama, first if you're in the middle of a battle, first you have to deal with the most dangerous element. So Satyabhama is the most dangerous, the most bold. So Krishna enters her palace very humbly, you know. And he sees her laying and heaving on the ground, red with anger. So he comes from behind and tries to grab her foot, showing his forgiveness, like humility. And she kicks his hand away. We don't hear the queens generally like this, but Satyabhama is like this. So he tries to take her foot, and she kicks it away, kicks his hand away. And Krishna says, I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. What could I do? I was in the middle of everyone. And he said, what do you care? This is just one flower. I've given you my heart. Krishna tells Satyabhama, my whole heart is with you. Immediately he goes back to his old tricks. Oh, I only love you. This is only external. I gave her the flower. This is external etiquette. My heart is only with you. And Satyabhama is, hey, you bogus fellow. You can't even give me a flower, and yet you say you've given me your heart. You can't even give me a flower, and yet you say, oh, I've given you my whole heart. She said, you're just a liar and a cheat. I want to go back to my father's house. I'm leaving at once. We see when Krishna sometimes teases Rukmini, she's more submissive, so she cries and even faints. When Krishna says, oh, I'm not so qualified, oh, Shishupala is much better than me, you should go marry him, then she faints, unable to tolerate this. But Satyabhama is very bold. She says, I'll go back to my father's house. So Krishna thinks, I better do something. So he says, look, okay, I'll take you to heaven, and we'll take a whole parijat tree and bring it and plant it in your courtyard. So she perks up a little bit. She thinks, oh, that'll show Rukmini. Rukmini has one flower. Narad said that if you wear this flower, you'll be the most beautiful woman. And you'll always be happy. Your life will be full of auspiciousness. So she was thinking, if I have the whole tree, then part of this Vamya Bhav is like, oh, others will be jealous also. So she's a bit happy. So she says, okay, really? Like Krishna could tell. She perked up. So he says, yes. So immediately Krishna calls Garuda, come. Garuda came. Krishna got on the back of Garuda. He sat with Satyabhama. And immediately Garuda took off and very quickly went to heaven. And Indra was there with all his attendants, Gandharvas, Apsaras, just passing the time in frivolity, in like pastimes, right? And he sees Krishna coming on Garuda. And Krishna is in a hurry, you know. Generally you come, hey, how's it going, you know? Have some water, have a seat. But Krishna's in a hurry. He's trying to pacify the situation. So he quickly flies into Nandankanan. This is the heavenly garden of Indra. This is the most beautiful garden in heaven. And he quickly goes and uproots the tree with one hand, puts it on the back of Garuda and starts to fly out. And Indra, in the meantime, he's like, hey, what's going on? So Indra's nature is if you're always absorbed in enjoyment, bhoga, then your intelligence quickly becomes lost. Kamesha krodesha rajaguna smudma mahasana mahapapma vidyayinam hivirinam. Let krodat bhavati samoha samot smriti vibhra smriti brangsa burinasa burinasat pranasati. When you're always absorbed in enjoyment, calm, this and that, then your intelligence is lost. So Indra forgot that before I was chastised in Vrindavan. I tried to attack the Brajbasis for 7 days. I was raining down to no avail. So he forgot, and again he attacked Krishna. So he summoned, as Krishna was going to the forest, he's thinking, oh, who is he to come and steal from me? These trees cannot go anywhere to earth. They can only stay in heaven. So he calls all his armies, all the heavenly armies, and they attack Krishna. And so it's a very beautiful scene that Krishna with Satyabhama and with the uprooted parijat tree alone is fighting with all the armies of the demigods. And easily is defeating them, because at this time Krishna doesn't want to play around. Sometimes when he fights, he plays around a bit more. But this time he's very busy. So he's like, okay, he quickly defeats them, comes back to earth, goes to Dwarka, goes to the courtyard, and plants it with his own hands. In Dwarka, Krishna doesn't do such hard work, but for Satyabhama himself, he plants the tree. And then he tells Satyabhama, okay, you're happy now? Now you should invite all the queens to see your tree. So Satyabhama is very happy and smiling says yes. And so she even invites Rukmini. And Rukmini very humbly also comes. And she sees the tree. If Satyabhama were to happen like this, she would never go to Rukmini's to see Rukmini's tree. That is her nature. This is very contrary. So Gurudev describes, if Rukmini got the parijat tree, Satyabhama would never go. She would never talk to her. But Rukmini is very humble, so she also comes and says, oh, it's a very beautiful tree, Satyabhama. It's very nice. But Rukmini also thinks, Krishna gave me the flower. And this was only like a band-aid. So she thinks inside, actually, you know, I am more dear to Krishna. So Gurudev describes this pastime on the side. So in the meantime, now Radhika is speaking with Shyamala. And she tells Shyamala, Krishna says, oh, I only love you. And then sometimes I'm waiting, he tells me I'm coming to the Kunj at this time. And I'm waiting there, 1 hour passes, 2 hour passes, I'm waiting outside, and yet Krishna doesn't come. The whole night passes while I'm waiting for Krishna. And then right at the end of the night, Krishna runs in. Right in morning, like Nishanta Leela. And his cloth is all in disarray, and there's red marks on his face. And Krishna says, oh, Radhika, I had to fight with many demons. And Radhika says, I know who these demons are. Yes, they are definitely demons. Radhika says, yes, they are really demons. He says, you cannot trick me now, Sham. Jahi Madhava, Madhava Kaitava Vadam. You can't trick me anymore, you cheater. Leave the Kunj. We hear this in the Gita Govinda. So Radhika says to Shamla, he says, I only love you, and then he leaves us for another gopi. So then Radhika describes in this poem, it's described by Balaram Kavi, that Radhika says, when Krishna is embracing me, then each part of his body he's embracing, hand to hand, feet to feet, face to face, mouth, even teeth to teeth. At that time, Krishna says, you are the lover, I am the beloved. I am the beloved, you are the lover. We are inseparable. And Radhika says, I know from Krishna's feelings, it is like he wants to bring me into his heart. It's a very beautiful description. He wants to bring me into his heart. Or he thinks, let me enter her heart. And then Gurudev describes, he says, if he could make me like his necklace and always keep me under his cloth, always connected to him, embracing him, then he would do that. But he thinks, even then someone may steal this from me. So let me bring her into my heart. Let me always be there. So he prays like this. If I was like Chandan, then he would paste the Chandan and keep me all over on his body. That's why Prabhuji describes this Chandan is Krishna's, this Chandan is the gopis in one form. So Radhika says, even though this is so sweet, but still he ends up going and leaving. So then why does Krishna leave? Why does Krishna disappear? Sometimes, why does Krishna disappear or come late? Sometimes Krishna is in Chandravali's Kunj and the gopis are searching, where's Krishna? And Rupa Manjari has one sukha, so she sends Sukha to find him. And Sukha finds him near Govardhan, there's one Kunj called Gauri Kund. And the Sukha comes back and hints to Rupa, oh, he's at Gauri Kund. So Rupa very quickly goes there and she enters the Kunj and says, oh Krishna, a great demon has come and he is attacking Braj. You must come and save him. So Krishna leaves Chandravali, and Chandravali is very simple. So Krishna leaves and goes to Radhakund to meet with Radhika. But still, why did he leave? On one hand, why did he leave? If he didn't leave Chandravali's Kund, it's because he wanted to. If he could have always stayed there, but he wanted to be with Radhika. So even though he's always wanting to be with Radhika, still sometimes he will be far away. So what is the mystery of that? So then Gurudev will describe that in the next video. Please subscribe down there for our channel and hit the bell icon for notifications and share this with your friends. Radhe Radhe.